What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Thursday, January 28th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, let's take a look at the point guard position. I'm going to give you a value play here. I like Anthony Simmons from the Portland Trail Blazers playing the Houston Rockets, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they give up the 12th most fantasy points to opposing point guards. Anthony Simmons scored 32 and 21 fantasy points in the last two games, playing 29 and 23 minutes. He had a 26 and a 22% usage rate in those games. He's projected at 23 fantasy points here tonight. That's 6.6 times value. He's $3,500 FanDuel salary and $700 more on DraftKings. So I like Anthony Simmons here versus the Houston Rockets. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Andrew Wiggins from the Golden State Warriors playing the Phoenix Suns, who have a good defense overall, and they've been good versus opposing shooting guards. But Andrew Wiggins has averaged 31.7 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 32 minutes per game with a 23% usage rate. He scored 25, 47, and 31 fantasy points in the last three games, playing 30, 29, and 25 minutes. Now he's projected at 34 fantasy points here tonight, and that's 4.6 times value on FanDuel because he's $7,400 FanDuel salary, but he's $500 less on DraftKings. And he scored 46 and 55 fantasy points in his last two games versus the Phoenix Suns. So I love that DraftKings price. So I like Andrew Wiggins here versus the Phoenix Suns. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I couldn't really find a play that I loved here at the small forward position, so I'm going to pay up for LeBron James from the LA Lakers playing the Detroit Pistons, who have the 7th worst defense overall, and although they've been pretty good versus opposing small forwards, LeBron James has averaged 46.3 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 33% usage rate. He scored 47, 74, and 39 fantasy points in the last three games, playing 38, 38, and 28 minutes. He's projected at 48.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.5 times value. He's $10,700 FanDuel salary and $300 less on DraftKings. Now, he scored 51 and 50 fantasy points in his last two games versus the Detroit Pistons. So I like LeBron James here versus the Detroit Pistons. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Now, LeBron James is on a back-to-back, so that may cause you to shy away because maybe you don't think he's going to get enough minutes in this game. And I think that's a valid concern. So if you're looking to save some salary here at the small forward position, take a look at Carmelo Anthony from the Portland Trail Blazers playing the Houston Rockets, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and although they've been pretty good versus opposing small forwards, Carmelo Anthony has averaged 22.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 26 minutes per game with a 21% usage rate. He scored 40, 27, and 29 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 34, 25, and 26 minutes. He's projected at 28 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.4 times value. He's $5,200 FanDuel salary and $400 more on DraftKings. So I like Carmelo Anthony here versus the Houston Rockets. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. I like Jay Crowder from the Phoenix Suns playing the Golden State Warriors, who have the 8th worst defense overall, and they give up the 5th most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. Jay Crowder has averaged 22.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 29 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. He scored 34, 35, and 15 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 32, 44, and 19 minutes. He had a 27% usage rate last game, and he's projected at 27 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's $5,200 FanDuel salary and $300 more on DraftKings. So a good matchup here. So I like Jay Crowder here versus the Golden State Warriors. Okay, moving on to the center position. I like Ivica Zubac from the LA Clippers playing the Miami Heat, who have the 11th worst defense overall, and they're middle-of-the-pack defending opposing centers. Zubac has averaged 19.3 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 19 minutes per game with a 15% usage rate. But he scored 27, 30, and 18 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 18, 24, and 14 minutes. So with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George out, I think this makes sense. I think he's going to get extra minutes here tonight. So he's projected at 26 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's $5,000 FanDuel salary and $300 more on DraftKings. So I like Ivica Zubac here versus the Miami Heat. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.